Almost 60% of our collections are from income tax and from personal income tax contribution.
Ito nga po, let's talk about taxes. Tax mo, tax nating lahat.
And joining us to break down the country's tax system and its impact on Filipino taxpayers.
Taxes are supposed to fund the government so that they can deliver public services.
Many Filipinos still wonder what taxes are implemented in the country.
Magpapataw ang Bureau of Internal Revenue ng 1% na withholding tax sa online platforms at digital service providers sa ilalim ng revenue.
Taxes. It's the obligation we have as citizens. Our way of contributing to the nation. It's the government's blood. Kung wala ito, walang tatakbo. This is also one of the biggest considerations I've had as a freelancer. Since I left my corporate job, my whole perspective on taxes changed. It's not automatic anymore. Wala nang HR na magdededuct sa payslip every payday. Technically, I'm unemployed on paper. I don't have an employer. I don't have a payslip with withholding tax every month. So keeping up with my own tax obligations became something na kailangan kong i-manage on my own. But honestly, kasi may gusto magbayad of tax, especially sa panahon karon na grabe ang inflation, grabe ang ghost projects, grabe ang corruption, grabe ang political drama, but I don't want to dive into politics in this video. That is draining and that is not the point of this episode. Part of me actually hesitated to bring this up. Kay murag bulak ko'y karapatang magreklamo kay honestly, hindi naman ako 100% na consistent from day one in paying taxes. Like a lot of freelancers. May mga phase ako na hindi ko pa fully na-align yung registration ko sa mga ginagawa ko. But even during those gaps, I was still paying tax in other ways. Tanang mga gipamalit, investments, or mga groceries, tanang mga butang, na-tax. And we don't notice it, but yeah, tanang atong ginapalit na i-tax. Even the freelance platform na akong ginagamit like Upwork, na-value added tax. So, dili 100% nga madawat na ako ang akong gihaguan. So I told myself I really want to make this as legal as possible. I've been freelancing for years now and it's time to do my part. Pay taxes and follow the rules. At least as much as I can. But question, should freelancers even pay taxes? Let's actually talk about this because there's so many freelancers actually ask this question. Marami sa atin na iniisip na hindi naman ako employed, wala namang HR na magdededuct sa payslip ko. So, paano ba ako matatawag na taxpayer? Well, according to the BIR, kung kumikita ka, kahit freelancer ka, online seller, content creator, virtual assistant, or kahit teacher na nagtuturo online, you fall under self-employed individual or professional. Whether local clients or foreign clients ang nagbabayad sa iyo, kahit dollars or pesos, taxable pa rin yun under Philippine law. It doesn't matter if yung payment is dumaan sa PayPal, Payoneer, Wise, or direct to local bank. Kung kumikita ka dito sa Pilipinas, may obligation ka pa rin na mag-pay ng taxes. And this actually makes sense if you think about it. Every freelancers who registers gets access to something that we normally take for granted. Official receipts, proof of income for loans, for visas, or even application for credit cards. Some corporate or even government clients won't even work for you if you don't have official receipts. So whether you like it or not, registration is part of being taken seriously as a professional. Pero ano bang mangyayari kung hindi tayo magbabayad ng buwis? Okay, so this part medyo hadlock pero kailangan natin matunan. If you're operating without registering with the BIR, you cannot legally issue official receipts. You cannot deduct business expenses, and you're already technically in violation the moment you start earning without registering. Under the tax code, failure to register can mean a fine ranging from 1,000 to 50,000 pesos, plus possible imprisonment if it's found na willful or intentional. Meaning, alam mo talagang hindi ka nagparehistro para makaiwas sa tax. The penalties get heavier. Fines up to 100,000 pesos, plus 2 to 4 years of imprisonment. And if it becomes tax evasion, meaning underreporting of income, gumagamit ng fake or ghost receipts, or hindi talaga nagre-remit ng tax, the fines can go up to 10 million. Diba? Grabe? Even the simpler violations, like late filing or hindi pag-file ng return, can already trigger a 25% surcharge on top of the tax you owe, plus 12% interest per year until you settle it. So kahit hindi ka willfully umiiwas, pwede ka pa rin ma-penalize just for being late. The BIR also made it clear that ignorance of the law is no longer accepted as an excuse. Kaya mas mabuti talagang i-sort out agad para hindi lumabo yung penalties. But here's the thing, tax avoidance and tax evasions are two different things. Tax avoidance, which is legal, is when you plan your finances properly, choosing the right tax scheme, claiming legitimate deductions, timing your filings. Tax evasion, on the other hand, is the intentional way of not paying taxes, and that is illegal. So do your best to stay compliant, even hindi perfect. So doing your best to clear your records on the BIR as a freelancer is way better than ignoring the fact that you are not paying taxes. And that is really where I am right now. Hindi ko sasabing perfect ako dito, pero every step of a way from registering my online shop to finally changing my registration to Descent Creatives, which is my umbrella of my freelance business, is me trying to find a way to clear my records. I have an online shop, and for me to be able to operate that shop online, I needed to register my business, and that's the time that I am actually paying my taxes. But after the Japan trip last month of May, that's a big client. They actually questioned my certificate of registration because wala sa line of business ko na nakalagay doon, walang photography. And I was their photographer and videographer. So that's when I realized that I have to register my entire freelance work, from arts and crafts to graphic design to photo and video, everything that I do. So I applied for a change from Paper Room to Descent Creatives. Descent Creatives Graphic Design Studio is my freelance studio that takes on clients from various industries. Think of it as an umbrella of my services. I have YourPod for podcast editing services, Brand Haven for branding, Paper Room for arts and crafts, SnapX for photography and videography, ShadeX for traditional art, WebArt for website building. All of them fall under the same creative arts category. And now that I'm officially legit, there's no holding back. I can now take big clients locally because I am registered. I have an official receipt. And it's actually exciting. So going back to the original question, do I want to pay taxes? Honestly, hindi pa rin. Walay taong gusto magbayad og tax karon, kay especially we know na hindi siya properly na nagagamit. But here's what I've realized after going through all of this. Paying taxes properly isn't really about whether the system deserves it or not. It's about protecting myself and protecting the business I am building. Kasi kung tutuusin, this registration, this official receipt, this compliance, parang ito na yung foundation ko to take bigger risk moving forward. Hindi ko na kailangan mag-alala if ma-question ba yung invoice ko or yung official receipts ko or yung line of business ko or baka may isang document na kulang para sa malaking kliyente. And wala nang ganung takot. So kung freelancer ka rin or nagpaplano na mag-freelance full-time, dala mo ito bilang isang paalala na yes, medyo nakakapagod at nakakalito ang buong process. Pero mas malaki ang mawawala sa iyo kung hindi mo to ayusin ngayon habang maaga pa. And that's it for this episode. If you have questions about freelance, don't forget to leave comments down below and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.